Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Media Day 2023 here at Kidd Brewer Stadium. It is report day for fall camp for the App State football team, and we're excited to introduce you to some of the names and faces that you'll be seeing and will make a big impact on this year's team. My name's Adam Witten. We're with you for the next hour. We're going to visit with both of our coordinators on the offensive and defensive side, and we'll have a select number of student athletes that are visiting with various members of the media to my left. They'll come over here and take the seat, and we'll ask them a series of questions as you get to know the guys that'll be entering another season here on the mountain. Our first guest today is a familiar face. He's new for 2023, but certainly you all know him. He is Frank Ponce. He is entering his 8th season at App State. It is his first back in Boone after being down at Miami last year. Coach, welcome back. What is it about this place that always just keeps pulling you back in?
Just look back here. The mountains, it's a great place, great people, great staff to be here and work with. And it's just, it's been, like you said, my 8th year here, and the last 7 have been phenomenal. You know, I have a great time here in Boone, and the community, the town, has just been outstanding and very welcoming of me every single year.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see it or hear it behind us, but it is a cloudy, rainy day. It's a little chilly. You got the long sleeves on. It's low 60s here, so it feels like it starts to feel a little bit like fall. We certainly don't hope the rain is around for any of the games we have coming up, as we're 30 days away from kick between the Mountaineers and Gardner-Webb. Well, you're kind of the perfect person to have here on the hot seat for from a coaching perspective, because as the offensive coordinator and the quarterback's coach, that's what everybody wants to know about, is the quarterback position. Right. So give us your perspective on what quarterback competition is going to be like in fall camp.
Well, it should be a very heated battle, and it was like that in all spring. And those guys are very competitive. You know, Ryan and Joey were competing for the #1 spot, and they were going back and forth. I told everybody it's like a heavyweight championship fight. So those guys are doing a really good job. But both great kids, very hardworking kids, studious, watching film all the time, asking questions, and we're very excited about them. Both are very talented. Both have strong arms. Ryan can really move, and you know, obviously Joey, he can move. He's a bigger kid, but he's got a very strong arm. So we're excited about both guys.
Yeah, so when you were here in 2021 as the offensive coordinator, you recruited Ryan Berger. So you know a lot about him already coming into this year. It's his redshirt freshman year. So let's learn a little bit about Ryan Berger, one of the candidates for that QB1 position. What should our fans know about number 18?
Well, a kid with great character, that's #1. And a very smart young man. And like I said, he's always studying films. He's always watching film here. You'll come here during spring, and it'll be 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night, and he's watching film, trying to learn from his mistakes and calling or texting me with questions and what can I do better, what happened here, what do you think I should do. And that's just who he is. He's a great teammate to those guys, and a very quiet kid. But you know, he doesn't talk much, but his actions speak louder than words, and that's how he operates, and that's a good thing to have.
In terms of his football aptitude, what are the traits about his game that really stand out to you?
I think one of the he's actually a dual threat, a true dual threat. He can throw the ball and run. Runs real well and makes good decisions out there on the football field. So, you know, he's just getting better, and you see it day in and day out how he is growing. And again, it goes back to him being just a student of the game and studying and understanding what he has to do. And we tell the guys all the time, you have to know what you're doing. You got to know where you're going with the football. You got to understand the scheme. You got to understand the defense. And I think he has a thorough knowledge of it right now.
Well, how about the junior college transfer? He's a newcomer this year, but again, you were familiar with him before he came to Boone, and that's Joey Aguilar, the JUCO transfer from out west. Tell us about that young man.
Well, Joey's a bigger kid. A strong-arm kid, can really make every throw on the football field. Again, I say he's another one, and the entire room is the same way, to be honest with you, Adam. And those guys are very studious. They're always watching film, and that's the quarterback world. You have to. You have to watch tons of film to study and learn. But Joey, what he brings to our offense is the ability to make any type of throw on the football field. He also can move. He's not as fast as Ryan, but he can move as well. He's very elusive for his size, a big kid, like I mentioned, and very character-wise, it's exactly what you want at the quarterback position. And these guys are very reliable and accountable for our football team and our team.
Yeah, and I think not to be overlooked, another newcomer, Mason McHugh, a freshman coming in, also very talented. Could he have a chance at competing for snaps too?
Absolutely. Mason just got in here, so he's learning as well as these guys here. He's a little bit behind those guys because he hasn't played much right now, but he's a very talented young man. He has a very talented arm. He can throw the ball very nice. He's got a nice zip on the ball. And I guess he's growing. So, when you come in here, he just got here in the spring, so it's sometimes like a deer in the headlights, right? So those guys are learning, and he's learning from watching these older guys go out there and perform in the offense, and he's getting a grasp of the offense day in and day out. So we're excited about him as well.
What are the essentials out of an ideal first-team quarterback, the person that you're going out there, you're putting a lot of trust in that quarterback, right? Because there's so many key decisions that need to be made. What are the things that you're going to look for in camp to say, okay, this is going to provide some separation in terms of who can do this better than the others? You
just mentioned it. His decision-making.
Decisions, yeah.
That's the bottom line. That's the first thing we mention in every practice. Every meeting is be great decision makers. It doesn't matter what style of quarterback you are and what style of offense you run. If you can make great decisions at quarterback, you're going to give us an opportunity, a great chance of winning a football game.
Yeah. Quarterback certainly is going to get a lot of attention, but offensive line, there are a couple very talented players at those tackle positions with Anderson Hardy and Cooper Hodges. There's some big shoes to fill. How do you see the offensive line taking shape going into just the first day of camp?
Well, they like you said, they got a couple guys there, Daly, Bucky, Helms up front, anchoring that offensive line. We got some new faces there as well that are going to be just fine. You see them in the spring getting after it, and real tough guys, tough kids out there in practice, and just a lot of energy from them. And it goes back to the offensive line, just the tradition of the way that our O-line plays here at App State. And having a head football coach, former offensive line, he's not going to overlook that position. And those guys get after it, man. They call them the Bulls for a reason now. Yeah.
Frank Ponce, our offensive coordinator, is our guest. All right, sometimes a quarterback's success can be dictated by the skill position that's out there. If you got guys out there that if you get the ball in their hands, they can make special things happen. We got plenty of those guys on the offense. Let's start in the running back room and how that breaks down.
Well, again, that's I tell I always mess with our running backs coach. And I tell Brian also, man, you should enter the Kentucky Derby. All those horses you got back there, you just take one of them, But obviously, everyone knows about Nate, So he's a very talented, speedy, elusive scat back type of guy that's going to make big plays for us, like he's been doing since he's been here at App State. But the entire backfield, when you look at Haywood, you look at those guys that have come in here and learned the system. And just go out there every day and practice, pick up blitz protection, great in pass protection, in the run game, understanding our scheme and where we got to hit and with their reads and where the ball needs to go. And Coach does a great job with those guys, and we're excited about every single one of them. And they understand they're going to have to really make things easy on our starting quarterback because it'll be the first time he starts. And, whoever that guy is, they're going to make things easier on him.
Last year at this time, we're talking about the wide receiver position because there were so many familiar names and a lot of productivity to replace at wide receiver. This year you got a lot of talent coming back. Wide receiver seems to be a pretty special position going into camp, not just with returning guys, but the additive of a couple of guys from the transfer portal as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a few guys out there that can really be big-time playmakers for us, and those guys, they understand. Coach Dawsey with those guys talks to them all the time that they got to make things, again, veterans, making things easier for the quarterback, and just being there for him. And you look at Horn, you look at Caden, and those guys, and Davis, and those guys can really stress the defense and really help our passing game and our run game, alleviate the boxes, and that's exactly what we're looking for.
It's great to have you back, man.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
That's Frank Ponce, offensive coordinator, our first guest here on our Media Day Show 2023. We're going to visit with some guys on the offense. We'll visit with both quarterbacks. We're planning to, both Joey Aguilar and Ryan Berger on today's show. All right, we're going to let him exit stage left here, and we'll keep it rolling with coordinators. The familiar theme here in Boone, which is new coordinators but familiar faces. And a lot of you will recognize this next face from over the years. It is Scott Sloan. He is entering his 9th season at App State, his first year back in Boone. And he's the defensive coordinator now this year. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
Great to have you back.
Yeah.
I'll ask you the same question I asked Coach Ponce. What is it that drew you back to this place this year?
Probably the first time experience. You
Yeah.
know, those 8 years that I was here the first time were phenomenal. Not just on the field, but just living in the community. Younger son basically grew up here, you know, first through 9th grade. And so of all the stops as you change jobs from place to place, this was the one that probably felt a lot like home because of, I guess, the years and the community and that type of stuff. So it was, you know, when Coach Clark called, it was going to be hard to turn down.
Yeah.
You know.
When we visited shortly after you accepted the job, we had you on our podcast, and you said one of the goals early on was to make sure that you took the time to meet individually with as many players, if not all the players, on the defensive side of the ball. As you went through those meetings and got to know all these guys, what were some of the themes that you took away in terms of the character and the makeup of the players in that defensive room?
Yeah, just from a personality standpoint, and as far as them as people, not football players, but as people, you know, I knew that things hadn't changed. You know, that recruiting the right guys that had the right character, that were the right fit, you know, for app, as we refer to a lot of times in recruiting, you know, an app guy, that hadn't changed. And so really impressed with just how well they carried themselves, communicated, just you could tell they were just good people.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah. Scott Sloan, our defensive coordinator, is our guest, and you bring in a lot of new faces on the defensive staff. Tell us about some of the things that you were trying to accomplish, what your focus was in terms of finding the right fit and building the right group of defensive staff mates to join you here in Boone.
Yeah, a lot of just, you know, it comes down to just knowing and trusting guys that are in the foxhole with you and that have been in the foxhole previously, because they know what I expect and they know what they're going to get out of me, and then vice versa. And so that was important, you know, and you know, being able to hire Vic and Travis, and then you know, AJ has always been special to me. Recruited him out of high school and then coached him his whole career, and then even while he was playing in the NFL, he would still come back, even when I was at other schools, and would spend time, and we would talk ball and even spend the night at the house or whatever. And so the opportunity to get him, you know, was important. And then, you know, Rod and I hit it off, you know, from day one. And then as we spent a little bit of time, you know, together in January, you know, just kind of connected. And so, you know, was happy to be able to keep him with us.
Yeah, Rod staying on staff, and then A.J. Howard, as he mentioned, part of a long line of great safeties that have played here at App State. With today being the first day of camp and practice is really starting tomorrow, what are some of your areas of focus in terms of what you want to see transpire over the course of these next 30 days until kickoff?
Biggest thing is to continue to grow. You know, we talked about it in January, and then we addressed it in the spring, you know, that there's a gap between, you know, where we are and where we want to be, and that each day you just work to close that gap, and that, you know, we don't play tomorrow. And I said that in January, I said it in March, I said it in June and July. But each day, if we're not constantly and making a you know, a focused effort to close the gap, then we won't be where we want to be, you know, when we do kick off. So just to continue to grow. Our guys have done a great job with, you know, did a great job in the spring. I thought they really bought into everything we were trying to sell, and then. Post-spring, as we get into, you know, the times that we get with the, you know, NCAA allows with our OTAs and things of that nature. So classroom time, walkthrough times, whatever it may be, they really embrace that, you know, post-spring practice, and really all the way through the summer, all the way up until last week. You know, we were still having classroom time or walkthrough time and things like that. And so continued growth, you know, through training camp is going to be important.
Yeah. Let's go through a couple of the spots on the field. So defensive line, we've heard a lot about Sean Collins and Michael Fletcher on the defensive line coming in as transfers. We've got some great talent returning. As you look on the defensive line, how do you assess that position going into camp?
I thought they were probably the most improved group during the spring. Really showed a lot of progress, you know, as a positional group, and so Just really looking forward to getting them on the field and seeing who's continued to grow, because they've had a really nice chunk of time that they've been able to, spend with Coach Matt in the weight room. So a lot of them are stronger, more explosive, leaner, change some body composition, things like that. So really excited to see who's really going to, pay off the most, I guess, from their work in the weight room.
Yeah.
But
middle of that defense, linebacker, both inside and outside, anchor, dog. There's a lot of different areas of that linebacker position that make different impacts. Where do you see that position taking shape right now?
Yeah, just excited about the guys at all of those spots. Really proud of Spellman. He's really grown. He had a really good semester in school. Showed some maturity in that. Challenged him in the classroom to be a better student, and he answered that call. And he's continued to work great throughout the spring, throughout the summer. So really just looking forward to seeing him. We've got a couple new rookies that have come in at inside backer. They seem to learn really well. Everything's been walked through. So tomorrow it's going to happen a lot faster than walk through. But just impressed with how mature they are to be true rookies. So excited to get them on the field as well.
Yeah. Spellman specifically, with both Hampton and McLeod gone, Spellman's got, and others have an opportunity really at that dog position.
That's right.
Yeah. How about the secondary? I know you specifically focus position wise on safety, but you're in tune with the entire defense. Secondary, where do you see things as they stand on this day, at least report day?
Yeah, I think we've got enough talented bodies at both safety and corner that there'll be some competitiveness, through training camp. And one thing that I'll hit tonight when we meet together as a whole unit is that every single player needs to prepare to play, and that it's going to be a production base. It's a bottom line business, and it comes down to production and accountability and consistency. And whether you're a rookie or whether you're a fifth-year player, it doesn't matter. It's a bottom line business. So I'll challenge them with all of that tonight.
Best players will play. Doesn't matter how old.
It's bottom line.
All right. Scott Sloan, defensive coordinator. Great to have you back, man. Good to see you.
Good to be back. Yep. Thank you.
Scott Sloan will exit over here to our left, and now we'll start our interviews with our student athletes. Got a couple of them over here waiting in the wings. They're sporting the sharp gold jerseys today for Media Day. Let's bring in a guy we've known toting the rock for several years now. It was not that long ago that he was a true freshman, taking the ball 70 yards in Statesboro in the fourth quarter against Georgia Southern. This is Nate Noel, our running back. Let's have him get on the mic here from South Florida. So, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
How's this feel now, being back for your fourth season now? You started back in 2020, and now all of a sudden you're a veteran on the team. How's it feel?
Still feel crazy.
It flies,
to me.
doesn't it?
Yeah, time flew. Yeah, that's all I could really say. It went by quick. It went by quick.
So I've heard rumors that you have really done some serious transformation in a good way with your physique and your strength, your speed, your overall makeup. What has the offseason been like for you? Where have you really improved upon your body, your capabilities as an athlete?
This offseason just been, I can only say, like, hard work.
Coach Matt put you to work,
yeah,
didn't he?
Coach Matt put us to work every day. He didn't really take no days off. It was hard. It was definitely something new. It was definitely something new. We was working hard every day. I just feel like that alone, it shaped a lot of our mentalities, because we were doing stuff that some of us thought we couldn't even do or we couldn't even lift. So just gaining that confidence, and then with his workouts, all we got to do is really just eat and drink the protein shake, and we just gonna get bigger.
How much stronger have you gotten this offseason?
I feel like I got a lot stronger, especially since my labrum. I got a lot stronger in my shoulders, in my legs. We've been doing deep squats. I feel like that alone got my legs stronger than I thought it could go. Because I definitely didn't think I could squat as low as we were squatting.
Yeah, I've heard some stories about guys really putting up and down some weight doing those squats in that weight room this offseason. How do you feel physically compared to this time and any other year of your career? How do you feel on this day going into camp? Are you best physically that you've ever been in your career? Where do you compare it?
Yeah, I would say I'm the most strongest, and I feel good going into camp. Yeah. I feel like I'm fast. I still got my speed, everything. Yeah, I'm feeling good going.
Where is your game developed? So we've always known you as someone that could have that breakaway speed. You could take it the distance. Great with the ball in your hands. Where do you feel like you've added to your game going into this year?
Strength. I feel like I could break more tackles now. I just feel stronger in my legs and my arms. I feel like I could just get off a lot of tackles better. Yeah. Hopefully a lot of broken tackles this year.
When you look back to last season, and I don't know how much you even look back to last season. I know the past is the past, but what do you think about, what words come to mind when you think back to the challenge, not only from a team perspective, but you know, it was tough to stay healthy last year as well and be consistent week after week. How do you look back at last year?
I really just think of it as a test, and I probably need to answer better if that ever comes up again. Yeah. Probably, because I feel like it's a lot mental. I feel like that I could have probably did some extra stuff to get back sooner and just keep my head, you know, good in a good space. I feel like my head wasn't really in a good space when I was injured. I didn't know how to handle it for real. But hopefully, you know, if it ever comes up again, I'll be ready this time. Like, I know exactly what to do.
Coach Clark likes to say that tough times make tough people. You feel like that's something that you experienced last year?
Yes.
You're tougher. You're in a better place for having gone through that? Do you feel like that's true?
Because I feel like I'm ready for it. Like, I'm ready for it now. Like, if something, God forbid, something happens, I need to know that it's not the end of the world. Yeah. And everything's going to be all right. I just need to stick to the basics, help my teammates.
Tell our viewers, our fans, what should we expect from App State's offense this year? What's this unit capable of?
A lot of points. A lot of points. I would say from the running back room, but we got talented receivers and we also got a quarterback that can run. The points can come from anywhere, so I don't know. Watch out.
Yeah, and we'll see some guys that we've seen before, whether it's Monty Marshall or Anderson Castle, but Haywood from Navy and even maybe more Kanye Roberts this year.
Yes.
There's some talented guys in that running back room. Just how deep is that room in your own words?
I feel like we got more than one starter. I would say that, like, a few of us could play anywhere right now. So I feel like it just brings competition every day because everybody wants to be a starter. Yeah. And the starter can't let everybody be a starter, so it's constant competition.
Well, we can't wait to see what you're capable of this year, man. All the best to you. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us. That's Nate Noel joining us on the show. One of the many talented running backs in that room, and man, he has come a long way in his career, and we're really excited to see what he's going to bring to the table on the offensive side of the ball. Joining us now, he's a great defensive player. He's an All-American on special teams. Is Milan Tucker.
Yes.
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I haven't seen you since the golf course back in June.
Yeah.
You been working on your golf game at all since then?
Oh, definitely. Had to. I had to. It was a little rough, but it was good.
You were getting some good coaching out there too.
Oh, yes.
So now it's back to football, right?
Of course.
All right, so I'm going to ask you the same thing that I just got done talking with Nate. I'm fascinated to learn more about this offseason. You know, Coach Matt has come in here, and the program that he's put in has been getting rave reviews. But I just want to ask you quite simply, how difficult was the offseason?
Oh, yeah. It was definitely a grind. Every day was going in there just knowing that you had work to do. And we all kind of accepted the fact that we didn't want to go back to what we had last year and all the ups and downs, that we were going to put our minds down and just work. So definitely it was challenging at times, but we all knew we were going to make it through. So regardless of it, it definitely helped us grow as a team and just build what we needed.
Yeah. We saw what you were capable of especially returning kicks last year, taking that one back against Marshall and being an All-American. Where has your game evolved now going into this year, going back to spring and through off and summer workouts? Where have you seen the most improvement in your capabilities going into this year?
Honestly, definitely my mindset and my speed. With Coach Matt, he definitely helped me tap into a different speed that I didn't know I had. I knew it was there sometimes, but it's a consistent speed. But the mindset definitely changed for me. Just knowing that I'm now older, it's kind of going into a season that I know I wanted, and everything's kind of just up there for the grabs. I just got to go take it. So definitely just building the foundation of just know what I need to do and get it done now.
How fast are you now?
I mean, I guess y'all just gonna have to see that one, because I'm not gonna disclose so people can just write it down. So.
Are you the fastest on the team?
I think so. Me and Nate.
Who would argue with you? Nate would argue with you?
I was like, it's gonna be Nate, Deshaun Davis as well, but okay. I think those top three, we can argue a little bit. But.
Okay, so let's talk. I mean, we've known what you can do on special teams, and we can't wait to see what you're going to bring to the table this year. But let's talk defense and how you're approaching things on the defensive side of the ball and trying to be out there and compete for reps at the corner position. Is that still where you're focused going into camp?
Oh, 100%. I'm going to be at corner for sure. Definitely just trying to learn Coach Sloan's defense and know that he has faith in me and faith in all the other guys, but try to dial in on my own critiques that I've written down through spring, through summer, and just take that into account for fall camp, just knowing that the coaches definitely believe in me. They believe in the other guys as well, but they put the leadership role onto me just because I am one of the oldest guys and probably the longest one that's been at App. So just
it's hard to believe that, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Being here 5 years though, but I've definitely taken it with just gratitude and knowing that I am the leader now and just trying to bring the young guys with me, even if the older guys got questions about what the defense is that they didn't come from and new lingo that we're using. So yeah. I've definitely loved the spring and the summer, and I can't wait for what's to come in the fall.
How would you put into words what Scott Sloan as a defensive coordinator is bringing to this defense this year?
It's something special, honestly. He talks about feeding the monster about the defense. So just just somebody makes a play and knowing that you made the play with them and it wasn't just that sole person that made the play, and that it takes all 11 and not just one of us to win and especially make plays, that everyone has their own job and you do it to the best of your ability, and you keep committing turnovers and mess with the quarterback's mind and make little plays to just play with the OC on the other side and just like feeding the monster. And once we get that momentum rolling and not worrying about the other 11 on the other side of the ball and just worry about what we have, that's kind of what he's been preaching. And I kind of the whole defense has bought into it, and I can feel it. It's definitely, we're feeding the monster, and over the summer, Coach Matt has definitely fed the monster of the whole team. So, yeah.
He's the monster, isn't he?
Yeah. So.
When it comes to getting y'all and pushing you guys in the weight room, and how difficult this happens at least twice every off season. Yeah. You guys run Howard's Knob, right?
Yes.
Describe just how tough that is. Because you start here, right?
Oh yeah, we start. I think we do the warm up on the middle of the A, and then basically he brings it up, kind of just gives a nice little speech, and then out of nowhere blows the whistle. So it's fun. But we run from the field straight to the knob, and it's definitely the process of the journey of the season, honestly, especially like last year, the ups and the downs. Like, you got to just stay focused on just reaching the end goal of we want to lift that championship up again. We got to bring it back to the Rock, and just knowing that we ran it twice this year, it definitely, you can see the difference in how we ran in the spring after going through that down of everyone's mind not knowing where to go. And he basically instilled in us, like, no matter what we do, we're gonna do it together.
Yeah.
And definitely push through regardless of what's gonna be thrown at us. And that knob, it challenges you to a different person. You definitely come out a different person at the top.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and you build some chemistry that you just can't describe.
You can't describe it.
There aren't really any other teams in the country that can train like that.
No.
So that's pretty special. All right, Milan Tucker, man. Look forward to seeing what you're doing this year.
Thank you.
All right. He is a special teams All-American. He's a key contributor on the defensive side of the ball at the corner position. We're going to keep it on the defensive side and visit with one of our inside linebackers, Andrew Parker. What's up, man? How you doing? Grab that microphone. Let's chat for a couple minutes. How you feeling coming into camp? How are you feeling physically?
I'm feeling good. Coach Matt and the staff has done a great job of just getting us in shape. I'm ready to go out there and roll.
You're being too nice on it. Come on, man. It was hard, wasn't it, though? I mean, y'all made it. Y'all did it.
Oh, yeah.
Because so I asked Isaiah Helms last week at Sunbelt Media Day a little bit about this, and he describes just how difficult it was, but at the same time, at the end of it, he would say, "But I love it."
Oh, yeah. You definitely have to love it. It definitely challenges you mentally. Makes you, it sees if you really want it. You know? So I'm really happy that we went through that whole program with Coach Matt, and it definitely was challenging, but we came out on top of it. So
yeah. I've been wanting to ask you this question. So you came in from Arkansas, and so you've seen what game day is like in the SEC and some of the best venues in the SEC. You come out here to the Rock and you see it. Let's go to that first game against North Carolina, or really any of the home games last year. It's sold out every home game. How does this atmosphere stack up with some of the biggest venues in the country that you would see in the SEC when you were in Arkansas?
It's definitely right up there. From a sound standpoint, you definitely hear the crowd. It's very, very loud. It's very, very noisy. The fans are very, very passionate. It's right up there with all the great stadiums I played in. So
What's your outlook for the upcoming season? What are your goals? What are you trying to accomplish? What's Andrew Parker trying to be in 2023?
I'm trying to go out there and show what it takes each and every day to go out there and be the player that everybody wants to be.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I want to go out there and fly around. I want to be an example and be a leader on this defense and show them what it takes, to get things done. And I'm excited to do that.
What'd you learn about yourself last year?
That what I learned about myself was you can't take any days for granted. You got to go all. You got to maximize each and every day, and every day is its own day. You can't win one day and then think you're going to win the next day, or you can't win this game and think, oh, we can take this game off. No, it takes day by day, each and every day. So
I asked Milan this question, and as somebody who's right in the middle of that defense, at inside linebacker, how would you describe a Scott Sloan type defense? What is the identity going to be this year?
Fast, physical. Fast and physical. Fast, physical, smart. Fast, physical, smart.
Yeah.
Get to the ball. Swarm the ball.
Yeah. He says, Milan said, feed the monster. What does that mean to you?
Fast, physical, smart.
Get to the ball. The defense as a group.
Play with energy. Play with energy. Play with enthusiasm. Play with effort. Play with passion. That's what it takes to be a great defense. You can't go out there and play this game without that type of passion, that type of energy. You need that. So.
Yeah. Earlier, Coach Clark mentioned this in his press conference, and we touched on it a little bit last week. So, preseason rankings come out, and, people don't put a lot into that because it's preseason. It matters what happens at the end.
Right.
But at the same time, it's odd to see a preseason all-conference team without any App State defensive players. Did you guys notice that? Did you take stock of that?
Definitely did. I'm a insane competitor.
Yeah.
I take that definitely. Took that one personally.
Yeah.
And we'll see. We'll see. We got Saturdays to show, and at the end of the day, things will show. It's a different circumstance now, and we're a lot better than we were last year, and we'll see.
Yeah. Where is your game improved? I asked you, what you learned about yourself last year, and it's about being consistent and making the most out of each day, right? Where have you improved your game? What's going to be different and better about your game this year?
Well, I got my weight down. I'm about 227 to anywhere between 227 and 233. That's where I want to play. I'm a lot faster.
You're looking svelte, man. You're looking good.
I've hit 21 miles per hour on the catapult multiple times.
Jeez.
So the speed's there. Gotten a lot faster. Gotten a lot stronger thanks to Coach Matt. I'm excited to go out there and play, man.
It's interesting. I mean, you're the third player we visited with on this show so far, and everybody's talked about they've gotten a lot faster. You guys have always been fast on defense. I'm a little terrified to see just how fast you guys are this year.
Honestly, the program that Coach Matt has put us through, it has definitely benefited us as a team tremendously. And I'm thankful for him and his staff for the things that they've done for us and the preparation that they've put us through. I'm telling you, we're a lot better.
You seem so excited to get this started. Put into words just how much energy you have now that camp is starting, now that practice is starting, and kickoff is just on the horizon.
It's time to crank it up even more. We've had this this energy throughout the off season, but once you get close, you get the little itch that you're 30 days away. You get really excited to go out there and fly around. I think everybody's feeling like that, especially me. I know I am.
Yeah. So you're from New Orleans, correct? And you came from Arkansas. What was the biggest adjustment for you coming here to Boone, North Carolina?
Honestly, it wasn't really. I wouldn't necessarily say it was an adjustment because coming from the South, like the South, New Orleans and Arkansas, it's always hot in the summer.
Yeah.
So the first time when I got to Boone and I saw it was 70 degrees, I was like,
yeah,
it's
I
June.
didn't think that was possible.
I didn't think that was possible. I can wear a hoodie out here in June. This is unreal.
You wear a hoodie today. Yeah.
Yeah, and in New Orleans, you wear a hoodie in New Orleans, and anywhere from May to August, it's over.
Yeah.
You might pass out. So that's the best thing. That's the thing that I love the most about Boone. It's the weather. And honestly, but the biggest transition I would say is probably the food. But I'm still trying to figure out I want to get some North Carolina barbecue.
Barbecue, yeah.
I've heard about it. I'm a big barbecue enthusiast, so I need to see what that's talking about for sure.
Yeah. All right. We'll see if we can get that hooked up. If you don't get it before the season starts, we got to figure that out.
Yes, sir. We got to.
Yeah.
We got
North
to.
Carolina barbecue is certainly something special, and seasons are nice. Getting more than just feeling like summer all the time.
Yeah. I definitely agree. The fall season is definitely in existence in Boone, North Carolina. I love that. In New Orleans and Arkansas, it's definitely not.
Nothing beats
it's
the
summer
fall.
Than winter.
Nothing beats the fall up here, man. Really does.
Great seasons up here.
Man, looking forward to seeing how you perform this year.
Yes, sir.
Andrew Parker, inside linebacker on the App State defense, joining us. All right, man. I know you got more interviews to do, so we'll send you back over to feed those monsters over there. All right, really fun getting to know some of these guys on the defensive side. Andrew Parker, who came in from Arkansas and played a lot at that inside linebacker position and now being counted on to have an immediate impact this year. Now let's visit with one of our QBs. What's up?
What's up?
Ryan Berger. How you doing, man?
Good.
Man, everyone's asking about this quarterback position this year. Let's start right there. How are you feeling going into this? This is a battle. You and Joey. I mean, I know you guys are probably good buddies and everything, but you're trying to win a job. How you feeling going into camp right now?
Extremely confident, and just really trying to focus on myself and get better every single day. So.
Yeah. How have you progressed physically since you arrived on campus? You come in last year as a true freshman. Where have you developed physically? What's your weight up to now? How much stronger are you? Faster? Give us a little bit of a sense of how you developed.
I came in at 170, 175 pounds out of high school, and now I'm up to 205. And since January, I put on about 15 pounds of muscle, which is really good. So Coach Greenhall's done a phenomenal job, and props to him for getting everybody faster, stronger, bigger. So I mean, I'm really looking forward to this season though.
Yeah. How did you react when you found out that Coach Ponce was coming back? Because even though he wasn't here last year for your true freshman year, he recruited you, and he was the one that brought you here to Boone. So how did you react when you found out he was coming back to be the OC?
I was really, excited because we already had that relationship previously, really a close relationship, and throughout recruiting and everything. Obviously, it's not like being on campus, seeing him every day, but just knowing each other well and knowing each other, how we interact and that type of thing, and it helped, in spring and everything, that chemistry.
Yeah. What did you learn from Chase Bryce last year? A guy who's such a veteran and such a smart quarterback, great arm, great player, great leader. What did you learn about playing the position at this level from him last year?
He's been extremely valuable to me, and we were just texting yesterday. We text almost every single day, trying to keep up with each other. He's up in Canada playing right now, so. But just staying even-keeled, because he's been through a lot of ups and downs, and he knows how college football works and how to handle himself at this level. So just staying even-keeled and getting ready, you know, being at the front of the line to go to war with your guys, because, you know, ultimately they look up to you as the quarterback, and they'll come behind you ready to go into war.
Yeah. Coach Pons said earlier that one of the maybe the biggest trait in terms of being a successful quarterback is your decision making. How fast was the game when you first got into that? When you got into that very first practice up here, how fast was the game, and how much has it slowed down for you in you know, over a year since then?
Well, first of all, first spring practice, I was blown away. Being from Myrtle Beach, how cold it was out here. But you know,
because we do those springs in February, and that's
But you know, the game is extremely fast at first. I think like the first play we called like 4 verts, and you know, taking a shot downfield. But so I was really thrown off how fast everything was. I knew it was going to be a step up, but it's extremely fast. But in the past, you know, year or so, ever since after fall camp last year, games slowed down extremely for me. And knowing the intricacies of every single play, and knowing what the defense is doing. And knowing what safeties and corners and, you know, everybody's doing, the pressures, that type of thing, and knowing where to go with the ball, whether it's your hots or progression and that type of stuff.
Yeah. Tell us about how much easier it makes your job with the amount of skill that that's around you. We've talked to Nate Noel, and we know about the running back room. Receiver was the question going into camp last year with so many new faces. Now there's so many guys back and new additions around. You've got a lot of guys out there as allies that are going to help to move the ball. So they're not going to necessarily ask you to do too much, right? How much does that help you to prepare for the season, or to make sure that you're not trying to overdo it?
It helps a ton. I mean, we just got to get those guys the ball, and they'll make plays. So I mean, we have a phenomenal running back room. We're returning almost every single receiver we've got, and you know, we have phenomenal. You know, the 3 interior guys on the O-line are coming back, and then we'll have 2 young tackles, but they're going to be phenomenal. You know, we'll be very explosive, I think, and I'm really excited to see what we can do.
What are some of the things you like to do away from the football field?
I always like to go eat with like teammates or friends and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I was telling the Black and Gold podcast earlier, we had a Madden tournament. I like playing Madden. Brendan Harrington had the Madden tournament. Like, he was kind of, him and Nate were like in charge of it.
They hosted it. Yeah.
And there was like 32 guys, some of Nate's friends from, you know, and Brendan's friends, and then guys on the team here. And I ended up winning it.
You won it.
I won it.
Wow.
So they were mad. But
what was your team?
They did like it's like a random kind of like fantasy draft.
Okay.
But my favorite team's the Bengals, but I got the Ravens.
Ooh, you got the rival.
Yeah. But
you got to. Was Lamar Jackson your quarterback in that one?
No, it's like randomly selected players.
Yeah,
so I had like Trevor Lawrence and Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
But it was really fun. I actually beat Malik Williams in the Super Bowl. So
hey, good for you, man. All right, it's funny you mentioned going out to eat with your teammates. I got to ask you about, so you know, with your last name, there's that nice tie-in with the last name Berger and the Ryan Berger that you've now got. Give us a sense of what's the perfect burger. What is between the buns on the perfect burger?
Well, I think that burger they had. I'm really simple eater and picky eater. So normally I said like a cheeseburger and then just like bacon or maybe like mayo and mustard or ketchup and mustard, either or. Yeah. But the one at the Cardinal is really super good. Got two beef patties, onion rings, barbecue sauce, all sorts of stuff. And we had it last night. I brought some of the O-linemen, and it was phenomenal. And they gave it a 10 out of 10, so we were good.
The commercial's outstanding.
Yeah.
It's outstanding. All right, so I mentioned, you know, you and Joey Aguilar competing, but aside from the football field, what's the relationship like with you guys? I mean, everybody seems so close. There's great chemistry up here. You know, what kind of a friendship have you guys developed? Yeah, we're extremely close because, you know, we know, you know, how it is at the quarterback position at the college level. We can relate in a lot of the same ways, and we'll go out to eat and that type of stuff. And, you know, we're really close, and we're good friends, but I mean, it's competition. So, you know, it's a really good situation that we have, but we're close though. Yeah. Well, we're looking forward to seeing how it plays out. Ryan, good luck to you, man. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. That's Ryan Berger, quarterback for this year's team, and we'll have Joey Aguilar here in just a little bit as well. But it's good to visit with Ryan, who's in his second year here on the mountain. And again, even though Frank Ponce is back this year after not being here last year, he's here as the offensive coordinator, and he recruited Ryan. He's familiar with both of these quarterbacks even before they came on campus. Okay, back to the defensive side of the football. DDP, what's up, man?
How you doing?
DeAndre Dingle Prince from the defensive line. How you feeling?
Feeling good. Can't complain.
What's this day mean? What's this day like for you? Reporting to camp and getting this all started again.
Fresh start. You know, every year is a fresh start, and what you do now carries on for the rest of the season.
Yeah, reset is the word of this year's team. In fact, I see a couple guys walking through the hallway over to the locker room with that Reset 23 shirt. Tell us about reset and how it's become a motto this year.
I'm going to use a Coach Sloan phrase, being trained or untrained. You know, the little habits that you do really impact what you do on the field. So how you watch film, what you do on your off time, recovery, all those little things can help you on the field. And, you know, not letting little errors like we had last year impact how we play this year. So that's what I think about reset.
What are the little details that you've added to your habits, your routine to make you better?
Just watching more film, you know, studying guys who play like I do and taking little things from them, you know, watching opponents, working on different things to improve my game. So that's what I would have to say for that.
Yeah. So if you watch film from last year and you watch your play and the defensive line, you know, what do you take away from watching last year? Say, okay, here's where I feel like I could have gotten better, and I tried to get better this year.
Just being more aggressive, you know, not letting one play determine how the rest of the game goes, taking it one play at a time, kind of having a short-term memory when it comes to football, and just going all out.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Where have you developed physically in terms of I've gotten this much stronger, I put on this much muscle, I'm this much faster? Everybody seems like they've gotten faster, which is scary to think about. Where have you grown?
So I've gained probably 15, 20 pounds, all good weight.
Wow.
The numbers are going good in the weight room. I feel more explosive, stronger. So I feel like that's real good for me, especially with my speed and agility. Having that strength behind it's a real good thing for me.
Yeah. And let me guess, you're faster.
I am.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
Everybody's fast. I'm telling you, this is going to be – App State's defense has always been fast, and if everybody's saying that they have become significantly faster this year, we're in for a treat on the defensive side of the ball. Going up against some of those offensive lines in the Sun Belt. Last year was the first year of the new Sun Belt, playing teams like Marshall and JMU and ODU, and then, you know, the improvements of some of the teams that are just – everyone's getting bigger, stronger, faster. What have you noticed about the level of play in the league last year? Because you're coming into your fourth season now, and so you've seen the progression of the league. How much have you seen this league improve, and now, you know, how are you guys ready for it this year?
Like you said, there's a lot of new teams coming in, a lot more talent coming into these schools. They're realizing that the Sun Belt's not a conference to play with, so a lot of kids are coming to these schools and improving their teams, but we're doing the same here, you know. Like I said earlier, the little things will determine the outcome of almost every game, and that's what we're working on now. And going into camp, we're going to use things we've learned to not let the same thing happen like last year. So
yeah, give the viewers a taste of what the defensive line room is like this year. I mean, that's a position where you got to be deep. You know, ideally, you're going 3 deep and you're rotating so that everybody's fresh and ready to make an impact when they come onto the field. Just how deep is that defensive line this year?
We're real deep. We're probably 15 deep, which since I've been here is a good amount.
Yeah.
We're all a bunch of hungry guys who will do anything for the team. No matter where you place them, they'll be hungry and ready to work. So it's probably one of the funnest defensive lines I've been a part of, and I can't wait to get to work with them.
Tell us about working with Vic Cabral, the defensive line coach. He has got some energy, man.
He is a ball of energy, and it's crazy because he recruited a lot of us out of high school when he was at Georgia Southern.
Right.
And for him to be here is pretty crazy, but good dude, you know, we feed into his energy, which I feel like is good for all of us. And ball of energy, and we love him. You know, he brings a lot to us, fundamental-wise, and tweaks the little things that we do. And I feel like it's a good thing for us, and I can't wait to get out there tomorrow with him and with the guys.
I like asking this question to the veterans on the team, and man, it's hard to believe we're calling you a veteran, but here we are in your 4th season. Tell us about a couple of names that people don't know yet, but they're going to learn very quickly.
Well, Kayvon Aguilar, I know some of y'all might know him, but
yeah,
Kayvon puts a lot of work in, and I can't wait for his work to be shown on display You know, like I told everybody, it's hard to name one person because we all been grinding in. To see the work we put in this off season and how it's going to impact once we get out there, I can't wait, and I'm very ecstatic about it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So you mentioned trained and untrained and some of the things that Scott Sloan has instilled upon you from spring ball into the summer, and now it's getting ready to start fall camp. What do you feel like the identity of this defense will be with him designing the scheme and then you guys growing older and bringing in new faces? What's the identity going to be in your eyes?
Hungry and discipline.
Hungry and discipline.
Hungry and discipline. You know, a lot of the things, a lot of games last year were little errors. Yeah. I feel like discipline played a big part of that. That's one thing Coach Sloan has been hammering into us since he got here day one. And I feel like the whole defense has fed into that, and they're going to use that for our advantage, being disciplined. And, of course, we're hungry. We're not happy with how last season ended. And it just fuels us every time. App State is an underdog.
Yeah.
We play our best, and that's how I'm feeling.
Fighting for respect.
Fighting for respect.
That's right. All right, DeAndre Dingle-Prince joining us, DDP. Good luck, man.
Appreciate it.
Enjoy camp.
Yes, sir.
All right. We will conclude our conversations with our student athletes back on the offensive side of the ball, bring in a new face here in the quarterback room. Joey Aguilar joining us. One of our quarterbacks that'll be fighting for that starting spot this season. How you doing, man? Welcome.
I'm doing good. How are you?
First of all, I want to just learn about your introduction to Boone, North Carolina. Have you spent all of your life out on the West Coast?
Yeah, I spent my whole life in the Bay Area. So.
And now you're here in Boone. So what do you think?
I'm here in Boone. It's chill. I mean, I like it out here. It's a slower life than where I'm from for sure, but I'm a chill, laid-back person. So just staying here with a slower life is fine with me.
Yeah. So transferring out of junior college out there in California, how did App State get on your radar?
App State got on my radar actually. I was getting recruited by Coastal Carolina, and then Coach Stone hit me up randomly. And
Henry Stone?
Yep, Coach Henry Stone. And then I was supposed to actually, the day I visited Boone, I was supposed to be at Coastal Carolina, but with their coaches change, they pushed my visit back. So Coach Stone was trying to figure out when he could get me here and ended up booking me that same weekend. So, I mean, once I came here, the rest is history, to be honest.
Your mind was made up.
Yeah, pretty much.
How did you, because you came into contact a little bit with Frank Ponce while you were out there. What was your relationship like with him before even coming here to Boone?
He was recruiting me out there when he was at Miami, and then I was at DBC, obviously. So, I mean, we would talk and stuff like that every so often when I was out there, and then he asked me what schools I was like interested in, and I told him like obviously here and then a couple other schools, and he actually like praised here. I honestly didn't know he coached here until I got here. So when I got here, and then they said he was gonna be the quarterback coach again, I was like, oh, again? I was like, oh. And then he was like, yeah, he coached here a while back. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. It's crazy how everything comes full circle.
So he helped to introduce you to what this place was like before you even got here.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's pretty cool. So how are you approaching camp now with this? You know, this is the thing that everybody seems to be focused on amongst the fan base in terms of storylines entering fall camp is who's going to be the quarterback? Who's going to be the quarterback? How are you approaching trying to fight for that QB spot?
I'm just honestly going out there to have fun. I mean, when you're out there, like, kind of stressing over things, that's like, it brings everything else down and, like, kind of messes up your body and mental. So I just want to go out there, do what I do, have fun, and then let the rest be the rest.
Yeah. Tell the fans a little bit about your style, your would you describe yourself as a quarterback?
I'd say I'm like a pocket mobile quarterback, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like, I'm a pass first, but when I run, if I got to run, I'm going to run. But I rather throw the ball a little bit. But if I got to pull the ball, get some yards, I'll pull the ball, get some yards. And I don't want to say I'm aggressive, but, like, I'm aggressive. Like, I kind of get hyped up. So if somebody, like, talking in my ear or something like that, I'm going to talk back. And then just next play, something good happens, I'm going to let them know, like, I'm here. So I just be having fun, turning up during the game. So, I mean, when I'm out there, they going to know I'm out there.
Get out there, you have fun, you try your best, and then just see what happens.
Definitely.
Right?
Definitely.
What did you think when you got your first opportunity to start working with some of these skill guys, these running backs, these wide receivers? You got the first opportunity to start getting the ball in their hands.
It was fun. I mean, obviously, like, timing was a little off because I never threw with these guys before in my life. So it was fun getting to know everybody, where they from, what they do, who they are, and stuff like that. So coming out here and throwing around, just chopping it up, having fun, it was definitely fun.
Ask you the same question I asked Ryan just a little bit earlier. What do you like to do outside of football?
Chill.
Yeah?
I mean, I listen to music. I'll hop on a game every once in a while, but I watch movies or just chill, listen to music. I just started playing the guitar. One of our own linemen, he's teaching me how to play that.
Yeah.
So other than that, pretty much it.
What are some of your favorite movies? What are some of your go-tos? The movies that if you see them pop up on TV, you'll stop instantly and watch.
Gridiron Gang, all the Avengers, all the Fast and Furious. I like scary movies. I like funny movies. Everything with Adam Sandler for sure.
Yeah.
And Grown Ups, obviously. But I like a variety, honestly. If it's funny, I'm gonna watch it. If it's scary, I'm gonna watch it.
Please tell me you've watched some of Adam Sandler's like early stuff, like Billy Madison. And
yeah, Billy.
I know those. Yeah. Okay.
Jack and Jill, all of that.
Okay. What's another similar question that I asked earlier? What's the relationship like between you and Ryan and Mason and just that in that quarterback room?
We're all like a brother, honestly. Nobody out there trying to like downgrade each other. We're all out there trying to help each other out. Because we're all here for the same goal anyway. So it's like get your school and play football. So when we're all out there, we don't know something, we all help each other out. We all give advice on what you want, or if like me, if I threw a certain kind of pass, I would ask them like, how would you throw that pass in this look, and then we just all talk to each other, help each other out. So it's all friendly, it's all fun, to be honest.
Yeah. You've been introduced now to the culture here in Boone, and that's a word that we use a lot because it is something special here at App. What's been your experience and your takeaway in terms of what App State culture is like up here?
App State culture, I say, is a grind and tough.
Yeah.
When people come here to play App State, they not coming to play App State. They come to play like some dogs and stuff like that. So watching film, and obviously some players that is on the team now, ain't nobody give up. If we lose, ain't nobody give up. Obviously, you see some games last year, it go down to the wire. Yeah. Like the North Carolina game, we were down, came back in the fourth quarter. So I like the fight that App State got, and obviously the culture, the fans that build everybody up, and the culture within the team for sure.
Love your attitude, love your approach, man. Can't wait to see you play.
For sure, appreciate it.
Joey Aguilar, quarterback here at App State, one of our newcomers here. So, all right, man, I know y'all got some meetings you got to get to. Camp is here. Have a good practice tomorrow. All right, that's going to be a wrap on our Media Day show. And appreciate both of our coordinators and all of our student athletes joining us. Thanks to Joey Jones, Brett Strelo for helping to bring folks over here to talk to us today. As a reminder, you can find this show archived. We'll have it on our podcast feed. We will also have Coach Clark's press conference from earlier today, and we'll be joining you with content all throughout fall camp, as today we are 30 days away from kickoff. App State and Gardner-Webb. I'm Adam Witten. Thank you so much for watching today, and we'll see you up the mountain here real soon.